What's going on, everyone? This is going to be a recap of my Go Stadium Lobby Fusion Cup tournament. This started on the 9th of January, so it's got my original team you see there. Going in the game one with Rafiki. Very similar team. He chose the Altaria instead of Noctowl. But other than that, oh no, he has Noctowl. He chose Altaria instead of having like a Charizard. That's really the only difference on our team. So I kind of get the lead here. Wigglytuff is able to just do a ton of damage with Charm to Noctowl. Kind of doesn't matter if you shield the first or the second. Mainly only if they switch out, and then it kind of matters. But he stays in. You shield this first one, or the second Sky Attack. And then he switches out to the last second. So really well-timed switch there. Ends up taking the Ice Beam, and then I switch out. So I have like no energy and a little low health. So I do misclick and send in Noctowl to die against this. His Bronzong is going to try to do some just chip damage basically with Sky Attacks. I do get a shield. This is, like I said, this is a day one team, basically. I don't have Nightshade on this Noctowl. Even though you'll see in maybe some of my other videos, or if I put them out, I do end up getting a better Noctowl that I power up with Nightshade. Would have been handy in this fight since I misclicked. But, so I bring in Wishcash to clean up the Bronzong. I take the Side Shock. I'm just gonna. I don't even get to take it down with Mud Shots. He switches out. I shield the Blizzard, or I shield the Leaf Blade, and I'm gonna go for the bait and then switch out. But unfortunately, I don't have any shields left. I wasn't able to. Like I said earlier, my health was real low. Don't have quite enough health. A little bit of lag. My charge move disappeared. Then go into the Mud Bomb. It's not going to be enough. And he has a shield, so it wouldn't have been enough anyways before I could have gotten to a second one. And I will drop game one here without him losing a Pokemon. I get walled pretty hard. Even though I had a favorable lead situation. That misclick there really kind of set me back. So I'm going to try the same thing again. We end up in the same match with the Wigglytuff and Noctowl. It's like kind of like before. Didn't shield the first one. I probably should. Just because in the eventual case where he's going to switch out just like last time. But he doesn't switch out this time, so I'm able to farm him down with Charm, so I have a bunch of energy. And I go straight for Ice Beam against the Altaria. So I get the shield, and I do a decent amount of damage before he Dragon Breaths me down. And then I send in Wishcash correctly this time. A little bit of lag. Catches back up. And go straight for Blizzard. I don't need to worry about the first Sky Attack. And he does switch right into Shiftry. I'm able to get in my Noctowl right as he's going for Leaf Blade. So I timed it very well. I didn't use my energy for Blizzard. So he lets it go, saves his shield. I'm going to be able to beat him to this next Sky Attack. This Dragon Breath's really adding up there. So right here, I know I have Blizzard ready. And I'm not going to use my shield. And I actually still live, do a little bit more damage. But I'm going to hit Blizzard right as I'm able to. And that'll be all she wrote for the Altaria right there. So even at a game apiece, going into the third match here. I know we both led the same things each game. I think other than he swapped Bronzong and the Altaria out, the lineups are pretty much the same other than that. Yeah. I probably could have cut this out. Oh well. So I'm going to run the same 3 Pokemon, just in a slightly different order. Which, for some of these games in these tournaments, is kind of all I did. If I found the good 3 that had a good coverage. So I do catch the lead here. He does a few confusions. It's building up energy. I'm going to get off my first Mud Bomb, force a shield, expecting him to. There comes Shiftry. I could have gone either one here, really. I probably should have just gone right into Wigglytuff, because it would have just eaten it up. But I'm going to get this Sky Attack off, thinking this is foul play, so I shield, just so I'm able to live a little longer here. Be a little risky. Thought it was going to be a Leaf Blade. And then expect to see the Bronzong come right back in. So down goes my Noctowl. He served his purpose. Go ahead and send back in Wishcash. Lots of lag in this set. I don't remember it being like that. But he does hit me with the Bulldoze. So luckily it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So I have a lot of energy on my Wishcash, and I switch them out. So we know from the first 2 games, I can win this matchup with 1 shield. He has a little bit of an energy gain on me. But he doesn't have any shields. I'm going to get to this Ice Beam before he gets another Sky Attack. Which is fine using the energy on here, because it's not like Ice Beam is going to do anything to the Bronzong anyways. Do a little bit of chip damage with Charm, and I'm going to go right into, once it's available again, when the lag catches up, Mud Bomb. And this should take it out. Almost take it out, but I have a second one to go. So that is going to be the end of the first round. Really good games. This is really close, especially in that one. Not so much the first game, but GG's. Going in the round 2 against Roy Jeff. Fairly similar team. We have Noctowl, Wishcash, Shiftry again, but he has the Probopass, Sandslash, and the Alolan Marowak. So a little bit different look than the last round. I do lead my Wigglytuff into Wishcash, which is good because Charm, does a lot of damage to it. Mud Bomb's not so much. He switches out. Tried to switch during the Charm animation, so got a little bit hung up. Don't really have to worry about a lot of these attacks. I'm just gonna build up energy, try to do back-to-back Mud Bombs. So yeah, I actually get a shield and build back up since he shielded it. Get off another one. So I have energy here. Oh, and I just barely don't get to the Blizzard before he gets to his attack. So I'm like, you know what? Let's shield it and go for this Blizzard. See if he shields or not. And no shield. And then we're in the mirror. So I know I have Wigglytuff still in the back. And Shiftry of my own. So I go ahead and switch out into Shiftry after he uses his energy. So I get his first shield. I still have a shield, which I'll use here just to be safe. So he does get me with the Mud Bomb, but I have Leaf Blade ready to go. And that's game 1. Very favorable matchup for my on my part there. So this time I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Whiscash, Charizard, and Shiftry, just to see if he decides to bring in the Alolan Sandslash or not. So lead my Whiscash into Noctowl. I'm just going to stand. I mean, it's not super one-sided. Let's see if I can get the shield, or if he buys it or not. If he thinks I'm going to go straight for Blizzard or not. And I probably should have, because he doesn't shield. And of course, then I'm going to go for Blizzard here. And he does shield. So I'm at a disadvantage. I got to shield this Sky Attack. He's going to be able to get to another one before I'm even close to Blizzard. Actually, no. We get to it at the same time on this one. So it comes down to if he wants to double shield his Noctowl, which he does. So we're both out of energy. He sends in his Whiscash and he beats me to Mud Bomb, which is going to be enough to take me out. And I'm going to go straight for a Leaf Blade. I probably could have farmed up. I farm up a couple extra taps. Because I expect that Noctowl to come back in. And I want to be close to Foul Play. So I do get the Foul Play off, and I'm going to switch out to Charizard. I know I can take one Sky Attack comfortably, but it doesn't mean it's going to put me down into the yellow. And Fire Spin is going to be able to farm it down. I'm super low, but I have a Blast Burn, and there's the Sandslash. So predicting that really came in handy, and being able to live just long enough to get off the Blast Burn for the win. So going into game 3, get the Whiscash with the Wigglytuff lead again, and you can just see those charms just chunking through it. Look, I mean, he's almost half health, and I'm barely at anything just yet. And even after the charge move, I'm still have a health lead. But I'll go ahead and shield this one just to keep me kind of topped off in case he switches. And I know I can live this one. So I'm not going to really be able... Whatever comes in is not going to farm me down. So I can go straight for the Ice Beam. So he knows what's coming. He has to shield it. I'm kind of in a rough spot. Just because I know if he doesn't, if I basically lose this bait, or if I don't bait, my poor Shiftry's in the back gonna have to deal with this Noctowl. So I overcharge a lot. So he does go for it, and I'm able to get to Blizzard right before he gets to another Sky Attack. And he is low enough that it does knock him out, and then Shiftry's in the back. So I just barely missed that Mud Bomb, which would have been really good. He did use his energy, and he have a very slight health advantage. So I'm able to get to this Leaf Blade right before he gets to his. And it's just going to be a race. Whoever gets to the, basically a charge move first. So he beats me to the second Leaf Blade, and I just barely live. And I get to mine. This is where that small health advantage comes in. I'm able to knock him out just barely. Alright, so GG's there, going into game 3, or round 3 versus Digger. Catches Marowak with Charizard. Interesting matchup. Not really favorable for Charizard here. I do go for Dragon Claw just to see if he'll shield, thinking that it's Blast Burn. Should have just gone straight for Blast Burn, clearly. The way he went straight for Shadow Ball, because I should have shielded that. Thought he was trying to bait me. But bring in Wishcash. Shields the first Mud Bomb. Had a feeling since he didn't bait with the first one, he's just going to go for Shadow Ball again. So I'm going to build up some extra energy. And go for Mud Bomb before he gets to another Shadow Ball. So he just lets it go. I have enough energy. I go immediately for Blizzard, seeing if he'll shield it. And then I switch out, so I land the Blizzard and it does massive damage to that poor Wigglytuff. And then I just charm it down. And he has Noctowl in the back, which is why he didn't switch out. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this to force his shield with Ice Beam. And get off a bunch of charms here. So he's in the yellow. He's in the red. He's just storing energy. He's close to 2 Sky Attacks right here. So when my Wishcash comes in, he's already in the red. I'm going to take this Sky Attack and live. I'm like, what, 1 or 2 Mud Shots away. I get this Mud Bomb, and it's going to be just enough to take down his Noctowl for game 1. So super close there. I'm going to go into game 2. I lead Wishcash again into Noctowl. I do this a lot, basically. I feel like this is kind of the running theme in these early tournaments for Fusion. So I let the first one go through. I go straight for Blizzard. Basically see if he's going to think I'm shielding or not. I go ahead and switch into Wigglytuff. So I eat his Sky Attack, and then Charm is able to take it down. He sends in Marowak, so maybe switching out wasn't the best move. I think he goes for Bone Club right here, which it doesn't take me out just yet, but it takes me down low enough that I don't actually get to that Ice Beam. So it was a good switch right there in his part. I switched Noctowl in because I know Bone Club and Shadow Ball don't really hurt. So I'm going to be able to get to another Sky Attack here. I'm pretty sure he is out of shield, so he's going to have to take this Sky Attack. I have 2. No, he has 1 shield still. So now I have 2, so I'm going to take this because, it could be Blizzard, but it's not. It's Mud Bomb. I'm going to get to this other Sky Attack. I expect to see a shield here. So now I have the 1 shield advantage. So I guessed right there. I really didn't need to switch out. I would have gotten to a Sky Attack before he got to another Blizzard. But doing so actually let me build up energy, and I can just Mud Bomb this Marowak right as soon as it comes in. So that was a good game there. That was 2 games. So that's round 3, but we're going to play out this 3rd game. I'll lead Wigglytuff right into Noctowl, which we've seen a bunch in this video already. I was really lucky these opponents didn't lead the Alolan Sandslash. So I guess Charizard was enough, and Wishcash was enough to scare it off. So I do switch in for the mirror. And I go right for Blizzard, where he pulled the trigger on Mud Bomb just a second ago. He does shield it, so I'm at a bit of an energy deficit compared to him. So he's going to be able to get off. If this isn't Blizzard, he'd be able to get off a couple Mud Bombs. So we're going to see one here in a second, too. Yep. And I have enough energy for one Mud Bomb right now. And I'm going to try to go for back-to-back, but I don't think I actually charged up enough. So there's one, but he also got his in between. He didn't charge it up. That was a pro play right there. He undercharged his attack so he could get off extra attacks. But he didn't anticipate I had Blizzard already. So he made a really good play by undercharging so he could get off a few fast moves with his Shiftry, but then he didn't shield the Blizzard. Oh, it was so close. I let it go down because I have, Charm is just going to do all the work right here. And then I'm going to go for Ice Beam against the Noctowl. So that was a really good game in this Game 3 set for round 3. So we're going to go into the last round 3-0. And we're going to go up against StevoBot, which we played many times before. So this should be really fun. His team is really similar to mine, except he's got the Frostlass and Swampert. No Wishcash. No Charmer. So I do, again, I catch a Noctowl in the lead with my Wigglytuff. And just, look at all that damage. Just great. So he definitely stacked up 2. I shield the first one, and we'll know we'll live another one. So whatever comes in after is not going to farm me down. They're just going to take an Ice Beam to the face or Play Rough, hopefully. So I do go for Ice Beam. Wishing I would have gone for Play Rough. But he shields it anyway, so, he did his job. I almost get to a second one. Go ahead and bring in Charizard to put pressure on him. Charizard is a little frail boy, so I do have to use a shield. I probably could live the first one, but most likely not. So I do a couple more, and then I switch in Noctowl to take care of this Swampert. Because without any shields, I know I can live at least 2 Hydro Cannons. Mudshot's doing no damage to me. There's going to go 1 Sky Attack. Get the shield. And he just beats me to the other Hydro Cannon. But he's low enough. Do a couple more fire spins. I'm going to get off this Blast Burn. So it kills a Swampert. 2 Blast Burn. And down will go the Frostlass. So Charizard, he's frail, but he is super strong with that Blast Burn. So GG's game 1. Look at that, 1601 wins. Going into game 2. Gonna lead Shiftry, seeing if I can catch his Swampert or even the Bronzong or Frostlass. Switch out immediately. And he switches the Frostlass into Wishcash. So I can take, one of those comfortably. I'm just start spamming Mud Bombs as fast as I can. This doesn't shield either of them. And I'm going to go for the third. I think he may have misclicked when he sent in this. I'm just going to let it go. So I expect to see the Swampert right here. So I switch in Shiftry right into the Hydro Cannon. He's able to eat it. He sends in Noctowl. So I'm going to get to this Foul Play. Doesn't shield it. Still have 2 shields. I'm going to save them for Charizard. So I do go for the bait with Dragon Claw here. It doesn't take it. Go ahead. Boom. I just shield this. And I'm going to be able to fire spin him down. So this is a mostly full health Swampert. Oh, he doesn't buy the bait again. So I was like, well, you don't want to shield. I'm just going to hit you with another Blast Burn. He doesn't shield it. And he goes down to 1 fire spin. So that was it. That was game 2. I got 2-0. Charizard, my boy, killing Swamperts. We're going to do the game 3 with the Owl Mirror match. And just neither of us pulling the trigger yet. I'm going to say, I'm going to go for it. So he gets his off right after me. But he did the right amount of wing attacks to get 2 sky attacks off back to back, or I needed to do 1 more. But I am able to charge up a little bit more energy here. I take out his Noctowl, and there I have sky attack ready to go. I probably should have switched immediately, but he doesn't shield it, so I get pretty good damage against the Frostlass before going down. So yeah, so I can take 1, and then he switches out immediately. Kind of doesn't let me switch right away, so I end up having to take this. Sludge Wave, hadn't seen it all game. I should have shielded that. This is a pro play, didn't reveal it. Was not expecting Sludge Wave. Kind of like in another tournament, I was not expecting a Blast Burn to come, or no, Fire Blast to come from a lone Marowak. Took out my Noctowl. So it's one of those things, you see someone running a Swampert, you gotta watch out for. So Charizard's not able to come through this time. Not shielding that was clutch, but I'm able to win that round, win the tournament, go 4-0 in it. So got a tournament tonight. I'll let you know what happens.